Well, it only took 45 days, but the game is done. This past week was pretty crazy. I was moving into a new apartment and stuff, but I'm glad with what I was able to do. You always hear about the final 10% of a game being the hardest, but this felt more like the final 40%. So first off, I made a bunch of fixes and tweaks. The enemy AI were getting stuck on each other a lot, so I added in a check. If one is trying to reach a point, it checks if there's a unit blocking it, and if there is, it checks if that unit has reached that point, and if it has, then the first unit counts as having reached that point as well. And it'll work recursively, so if there's like 3 or any amount of units in the way and the one at the very end has reached that point, it counts for all of them. I also made so if 2 units are moving in different directions, which is checked by seeing if the dot product of their travel directions is negative, they'll both start moving at 45-degree angles to the right of each other, so they'll go around each other. And then finally, I added some improvements to their line of sight checks so that they won't shoot each other in the back. The next set of improvements was to the guns. I gave them all unique colors so that they're easier to tell apart at a glance, and also I chose really bright colors so that they stand out above the dark parts of the map. Then I also made so they'll tint to a different color based on the amount of ammo in their clip, so it's easy to tell what guns on the ground have ammo in them that you can take. Last main code change was to add zooming, which made it possible to make much larger maps. And then speaking of maps, I wanted to have 50 levels in the game, and when I started I only had 20, so I started filling up a notebook with level design ideas while I worked on other things, and once I had enough, I just grinded them out in the editor and added story elements and stuff. It ended up being a lot funner than I expected since I didn't pressure myself to do it all at once. Then with all the main content finished, I started on the main menu. I added all the basic stuff, new game, load game, level select, settings and stuff, and also a link to this video's playlist. And then on the level select screen, I made so you can choose a gear loadout, so it's really easy to try out different weapon combinations whenever you want. I made some nice character art also based on my old sketch from the first video in the series, and added that to the main menu with some particle effects and abstract art and parallaxing to make it look cool. I also needed a logo for the game, so I messed around with different designs until I came up with this brain and cross guns design I thought looked pretty cool. I still needed music for my game, so I went to the site artlist.io where you can license music for videos or games. It's $200 a year, and I figure that's a pretty good deal since I can use it for other videos and games I make throughout the year. The only downside is that since it's licensed stuff, if any YouTubers make videos of my game, they'll get demonetized. So to avoid this, I added an option in the settings to replace all the licensed music with copyright-free music, and a warning in the main menu for YouTubers that it explains this. And the last thing to do was to make a trailer. I sketched out a quick design for it on paper and then threw it together in Blender. It starts with showing the main character levitating a gun and shooting it, and then a text pop-up that says levitate guns, and this is just to make it really clear what the main mechanic of the game is. And then I show some gameplay footage of combat for like 20 seconds to show here's why that main mechanic is fun, and then I have a text pop-up saying uncover a dark conspiracy, just to show that this isn't just an arcade game, there's a story too. And I show a clip of a terminal pop-up and then a few seconds of the final boss fight, which is different from everything else shown, so it should be intriguing, I guess. And then I fade out to some cool concept art and the game's title and a message saying the game's now on Steam. I wanted to have fancy effects and stuff, but unfortunately I can't get DaVinci Resolve on Ubuntu. It only supports CentOS for Linux, and Blender crashed whenever I tried to use custom fonts, so for now I'm stuck with a pretty plain looking trailer. Maybe in the future I'll improve it. And then that was all. I just had to publish it on Steam. I had planned to sell the game for $5, but I read that most people on Steam will not buy a game unless it's on sale, so I figure I'll just sell it for $6 and put it on sale for $5 as often as I can. It would be nice to experiment a little and try different price points, like see if I sell more copies if I charge $8 instead and put it on sale for $5, but that feels a little dishonest. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, the game is out. I hope the game looks fun. Please buy it. Store link in the description. All the money will go towards getting me new equipment so I can make games and videos better and faster. If you're a YouTuber, a games journalist, and you're interested in reviewing it, feel free to reach out to me and I can send you a review copy. I'll be sending free copies to all my patrons today. Thank you all for your support, and thank you everyone who's been following me this past month.